Right.
The mass murder of bees in this world has got to stop. And I want them to campaign that. Put the meat back on the menu and save the bees.
Hey, this is Ryan of Happy Healthy Vegan. So, Piers Morgan, he's a name you probably know if you live in England. He's a co-host of Good Morning Britain, and we've talked about him several times before on our channel here. And we talked about him because he goes on a show and just says complete nonsense, complete bollocks about veganism. And the stuff he says is just so dumb. I mean, I can't describe it any better than dumb. It's so philosophically unsound that I even wonder, does he even believe what he says? Or is he just trying to troll vegans? So we respond about him like I'm doing here. But anyway, he's ramped up his war against veganism in the past month, just saying complete nonsense. It's always about veganism, this time about McDonald's vegan or veggie burgers, about vegans breaking their bones, and about vegans being responsible for massacring billions of bees.
When they all get to California, they all buzz around, these billions of bees. They're living creatures, they're animals.
In case you didn't know, Piers, bees are insects, not mammals.
And they buzz around and then they pollinate, and that's how you make almonds, and that's how you make avocados.
I've heard this argument before, the almonds and avocados argument, and there's just so much to respond to here. I'm going to just keep it really simple. I'm going to point out to Piers, as others did to him on Twitter here, that vegans aren't the only people that eat almonds and avocados. In fact, vegans don't have to eat almonds or avocados. I know many vegans who don't eat any almonds or avocados. I mean, when you get down to it, the percentage of avocados that are consumed by vegans compared to meat eaters is very, very small. So let me spell this out for the very daft Piers Morgan. It's completely irresponsible and nonsensical to blame vegans as being the people responsible for this bug holocaust that you're talking about, Piers, because as I mentioned, we're not consuming the vast majority of these food products, almonds and avocados, as you singled out. You're the one that is. Not you personally, Piers. I know you do eat quite a lot, I can tell. But anyway, I'm talking about meat eaters, non-vegans. You guys are consuming the vast majority of these food products. And as for vegans, like I said, we don't have to consume these. If you love almond milk, try oat milk if that'll make Piers happier. Try local avocados that don't need to import bees for pollinating. I don't even know how common that is. We'll just take his word for it. But I know Piers has a flair for hyperbole, for exaggerating. He loves to make things sound completely horribly awful.
In the process, many hundreds of millions of bees get murdered. They get slaughtered.
As if Piers has any real objective, scientific, factual basis for these numbers that he's just blurting out here, millions and billions. I saw him do the exact same thing a year or so back when he was attacking some young female vegans on his show.
Tell me the difference, ideologically, between me wanting a Christmas turkey and you guys eating bread, which you know involves the slaughter of millions of young critters.
Despite the fact that it's completely absurd to use the word slaughter when applied to insects, he doesn't even know what number he's talking about. Sometimes he'll just throw out billions because it sounds even worse.
Billions of insects get murdered.
When you eat your bread, you know it involves the slaughter of animals. To me, there's absolutely no ideological difference between my decision-making when I eat my steak and yours when you eat your bread.
Really, Piers, are you just trying to be the world's biggest a-hole? Because that's what you sound like right now. You honestly say that you see absolutely no difference between your decision to eat burgers and steaks, which necessitates sentient beings, mammals who have emotions and don't want to die. You want them to be killed so you can eat them. You see no difference between that intentional killing, and I'll use the word here appropriately, slaughter or murder. You see no difference between that and, say, these other vegans that you had on your show, the girls that were eating bread, which you eat too, by the way, I'm sure, Piers, them eating bread, there might be some unintentional, like, rodents caught in combine harvesters. And I made videos about this before. These animals in fields just don't sit there like stupid animals. They're intelligent. They hear, they see, they run when they see harm's harm's way coming towards them. And you see that you're eating meat is the same ideologically as some insects that might be used for pollination on food. Really, you got to be kidding me if you see absolutely zero moral difference between the two, Piers. And just a day or two ago, of course, Piers had to retweet this story that's been making the rounds in the news about how vegans may be at higher risk for bone fractures. And Piers says, yeah, least surprising news of the millennium. Like, really, Piers, this person responds to you. Why are you so polarized on this thing? I'm 99% vegan. I do military fitness, run every day, never broken a bone in my body. If people are malnourished, sure, they will suffer physically, but being vegan doesn't mean you do without vital nutrients. All of these are available. So once again, I'm calling shenanigans and bollocks on Piers. Put your money where your mouth is, Piers. If you really think vegans are so deficient and lacking nutrients that we're going to get our bones broken way easier than non-vegans are, let's see how healthy and fit you yourself are, Piers. Let's see the results of this very non-vegan pro-meat diet. He is 55 years old. I'm 53, so he's just 2 years older than me. I would love to see your blood panels, your blood tests, your lab results here, Piers. I put mine up about 7 times. I'm extremely healthy for a person my age. I'm extremely healthy for someone 20 years younger than me. If you want to do some kind of fitness challenge, Piers, I would love to see what kind of physical fitness you have with this awesome, very non-vegan diet that you have. And last but not least, the next stupid thing Piers did this month on Great Morning Britain was to go on his show and cry and whine that McDonald's introduced a vegan veggie burger. Sadly, I couldn't find any video of this, what was described as a heated exchange between Piers and his co-host Susanna. There was no video. I looked all over the Good Morning Britain Twitter, YouTube pages, nothing. Tons of video, but not of this segment. Well, fortunately, a few websites reported about this exchange, and the crux of Piers's argument was that he felt it was completely improper of McDonald's, or anyone for that matter, to use the word burger when there was no actual dead animal meat inside of that. And Susanna rightly pointed out there's been this thing called veggie burgers. That phrase has been around for ages. In fact, she showed them like the proof. She went to the Oxford English Dictionary, which is behind a paywall. I couldn't get into it, so I just went to dictionary.com. The same result. If you type in the word burger, it shows you it doesn't have to be from a dead animal. It could be a veggie burger. But that Oxford English Dictionary was not good enough for Piers. He said it's complete rubbish. I mean, how is that an answer? Susanna did something that you didn't do. She provided evidence, facts to support her position here using a very well-respected source, the Oxford English Dictionary. And all you could say to that is rubbish. Well, that's no refutation whatsoever, Piers. It just shows how you're devoid in proper rational thought and debate skills here. All you can do is just yell at people. I've seen your technique. You just yell over people and that somehow makes you right. But anyway, let's get back to what he said here, because this is absolutely ridiculous and hilarious. He said he's upset and this is all rubbish because he wants to, get this, reclaim meat language for meat lovers. Reclaim what? Just because there's veggie burgers, and there have been veggie burgers for decades, Piers, how does that make your ability to enjoy a meat burger any less? You haven't lost anything. Your argument completely sucks. And on this website where I found this story, there's one single comment, and let me read it to you. This bloke is a twit. Talking about Piers. There has been legislation passed a few weeks ago that states that non-meat products are allowed to be called burgers, etc. So Piers, your opinion is outside the law. It's outside the mainstream. The only people that agree with what you're saying here, Piers, are the meat producers, the ones who are running scared because they're losing market share because of the rise in popularity of plant-based alternatives. So I guess, are you a puppet of the meat industry, Piers? Let me know. And I'd also like to know, particularly from my British viewers, what is up with Piers Morgan? I'm sure you guys know him much better than I do. Why do you think he's waging this constant war against veganism, promoting all this meat eating and how great it is for him? My guess, as an American from afar, is that, he's old like me. Yeah, we're in our 50s. I guess that's kind of old. He has this old school view of masculinity, which I think is tied up in eating meat. So he sees veganism as a threat to that, and seeing people like me and ourselves, who are stronger than him, fitter than him, disproving his notion of masculinity. I think it threatens him, and I also think he's trolling too, like I said earlier. So let me know what your thoughts are down below. I'd love to see them. So anyway, hit like, guys, share this video with people who are Piers Morgan fans, share this video with anti-vegans, let them know what's up. Anyway, guys, talk to you soon, and let's keep it carb.
When does the pain